Prime Video's Young Sherlock attempts something many Sherlock Holmes adaptations avoid, telling the story before Sherlock Holmes becomes Sherlock Holmes. Instead of the iconic detective with the pipe, coat, and Watson by his side, the series begins with 19-year-old Sherlock, long before his legendary reputation. And surprisingly, the show starts with him in jail. Yes, the future genius detective begins as a reckless young troublemaker who has mastered the art of pickpocketing. His older brother Mycroft Holmes pulls strings to get him released, hoping to steer him towards something more productive. That decision sends Sherlock to Oxford University, where he is forced to work as a servant rather than a student. But naturally, Sherlock cannot stay out of trouble for long. When an important royal artifact disappears, Sherlock and a brilliant Oxford student named James Moriarty are blamed for the theft. To clear their names, the two team up to solve the mystery. And this is where the show's central twist begins. Sherlock and Moriarty are friends. Not enemies. Not rivals. At least, not yet. The story. Across 8 episodes, the series slowly reveals Sherlock's origins. The missing artifact soon turns into something much bigger, a dangerous conspiracy involving murder, politics, and powerful figures within Victorian England. The story expands beyond Oxford to locations like Paris and Constantinople, turning the series into a globe-trotting adventure. There are secret societies, hidden motives, and personal revelations about Sherlock's past. One of the most interesting elements is the Holmes family itself. Sherlock's father is often absent, and his mother is confined to a mental institution, hinting at darker family secrets that shaped Sherlock's personality. These emotional layers give the show a dramatic backbone beyond the mystery itself. The Sherlock and Moriarty dynamic. The most fascinating relationship in the series is the friendship between Sherlock and Moriarty. Instead of beginning as enemies, they start as intellectual equals. They solve clues together, investigate crimes side by side, and constantly challenge each other's thinking. Moriarty is charismatic, charming, and extremely intelligent. But there are small hints that something darker lies beneath the surface. He often prioritizes his own interests over morality, suggesting the seeds of the future criminal mastermind. Watching their friendship slowly evolve, while knowing their eventual destiny, adds tension to the story. Guy Ritchie's style. If you've seen Guy Ritchie's Sherlock Holmes movies, you'll immediately recognize his influence. The show features fast-paced editing, stylish fight scenes, clever dialogue exchanges, chaotic chase sequences through Victorian streets. Victorian England is portrayed with modern energy rather than historical seriousness. It feels lively, messy, and occasionally comedic. The tone mixes mystery with action and humor, making the series more of an adventure thriller than a traditional detective drama. What works? The show succeeds in a few major ways. First, the world building is strong. Victorian London and Oxford feel vibrant and dangerous, filled with eccentric characters and political intrigue. Second, the mystery itself becomes more interesting as the season progresses. Later episodes reveal deeper conspiracies and unexpected twists that reshape the entire story. And third, the idea of Sherlock and Moriarty working together is genuinely intriguing. It creates a new dynamic that most adaptations never explore. What doesn't work? Despite its ambition, the series has several weaknesses. The biggest issue is Sherlock himself. This version of Sherlock is surprisingly normal. Instead of the eccentric genius audiences expect, he often comes across as a typical adventurous young protagonist. His deductions rarely feel mind-blowing, and some scenes fail to capture the brilliance usually associated with Sherlock Holmes. Another problem is that the show sometimes feels like a copy of Guy Ritchie's Sherlock Holmes films. The tone, action style, and humor strongly resemble those movies, which makes the series feel less original. Without the star power of actors like Robert Downey Jr., some of those elements lose their impact. Finally, the Sherlock-Moriarty relationship, while interesting in concept, sometimes lacks tension. Because the characters are so similar in personality and intelligence, their partnership doesn't create enough contrast. Final verdict. Young Sherlock is an entertaining but uneven origin story. It offers a fresh look at Sherlock's early life and introduces an intriguing friendship between Sherlock and Moriarty. The mystery grows stronger as the season progresses, and Guy Ritchie's energetic style keeps the show visually engaging. However, the series sometimes struggles to define its own identity. Instead of reinventing Sherlock Holmes, it often feels like it's repeating familiar ideas from previous adaptations. Still, for fans of mystery adventures and Sherlock Holmes stories, Young Sherlock is a fun and watchable prequel, even if it doesn't completely reinvent the legendary detective. Short rating: 7 out of 10, entertaining origin story with style, but lacking a truly unforgettable Sherlock.